So it looks like we'll get some heavy wind tonight, so we're moving to another anchorage where it should be a bit less rolly. And then Corsica tomorrow, provided bad wind goes away and we get some good following breeze. Well, some good breeze anyway.
Any breeze.
Well, following would be nice. Hello and welcome to Corsica. We have just arrived and it is a magnificent island.
It certainly is, but this episode is all about the south of France and quite a lot about super yachts too.
I hope you like the film. Coming up, the lavender fields of Valensole, the blue gold of Provence. It looks like a fishing village, then this happens. And sailing to Corsica at last.
Okay, we're up bright and early. Well, I say bright, it's not really bright.
It's a little bit hazy, but it's due to be lovely and sunny later.
Yeah, and it's warm, I can tell you. But yeah, we're up early because we're going to pick up Millie from the airport. We've got a car.
We have. So the little airport here is where we're picking up the car, and then we're driving to Nice, and then on a bit of an adventure.
Yeah, it's the lavender time in Provence. Middle of July is peak lavender time, so we're going to try and find some lavender fields. We've got our bikes with us in the dinghy here because we've got to actually cycle about 5 miles to get to the to the hire car place. We've been making use of these bikes, haven't we? Did the laundry yesterday.
Yeah, it's been very useful. Past all the little boats, there is a dinghy dock. But more important than that, on our way to the airport in Toulon, there are bike lanes. Once we have the car, it's an hour or so to Nice. Then we're heading up the hills to Valensole, the home of lavender.
So Millie has arrived. We've got to Provence. So it's a very French thing to do, sit outside, but what we're hoping was to see the lavender. Because these are all lavender fields, but we're a bit late.
Well, it's still there. It's just not quite the vivid colour we hoped
It
for.
smells great.
It does.
It's drying.
If you were here,
in situ.
you would see, here, smell.
Yeah. So what they do? They let it dry in situ, and then I would have thought they'd just chop
Smells
it all
like it, doesn't it?
Mm.
up. Yeah, shame, because that should all be lovely and blue. It's now grey. It's been a very hot summer.
A very hot summer, but lunch beneath the olive trees with the scent of lavender permeating the air makes this a special place. Valensole is one of the largest lavender regions in the world, stretching 800 square kilometres. Line after line, field after field of what's known locally as the blue gold of Provence. The lavender industry really took off in the 19th century with a high demand for essential oils and perfumes. Crushing the lavender heads gives off a pungent aroma, as we found. A few drops of essential oil will help you sleep. Lavender is also a good insect repellent. Valensole itself is a small market town dedicated to lavender.
I've got some peach ice cream. What have you got, Jade?
Lavender, of course.
Lavender ice
About
cream.
as purple as the fields.
It's an interesting smell.
Well, I had the lavender lemonade and it's ended up tasting a little bit like mouthwash in the end,
Really?
to be honest.
Yeah, well. But you're in lavender country, you've got to do things with lavender.
You do.
Smell the lavender, don't eat it. That's my advice. Back on the boat and we are heading for the islands. Port-Querol is the nearest and biggest, with several beautiful little anchorages. It's so hot, the evenings are the best time for walks. The grapes are just turning. There's a pretty harbour and about a half-metre tide, so you may get wet returning to your dinghy. From here we head to Tropez, and this is where the fun starts. We have a good sail, arriving at sunset. There's just enough light to count the superyachts, and there are many. Including the Maltese Falcon. You may have seen a few months ago that we have a new encyclopedia on board called The Ultimate Guide to Rebuilding Civilization. And we want to thank the sponsor of this video, Hungry Minds, for giving it to us. Now, the first thing we did was share this book with our family. Our grandson Isaac went straight to the page about sailing and started on the page showing navigation.
Compass.
And what's at the top of a compass?
North.
Exactly. We also had a quick look at glass blowing in preparation for our return trip to Murano in Venice. What's he doing here?
He's blowing that.
Yeah. And what's he doing there?
Blowing everything.
Blowing everything, isn't he?
Playing everything at the same time.
That's right. The book is for adults too. It is beautifully illustrated, and one thing I particularly like is the selections the editors have made. There is a whole page in the food section on beer making. Not wine, just beer. And in the section on the human body, another page with a deep dive into yoga. There really is something for everyone in this book, so whether you're thinking of buying one for yourself or sending it as a gift to a friend, follow the link in the description and use the promo code FAIRISLE10 to get 10% off. Now, back to the episode. In the morning, we make our way to what looks like a small fishing village. Don't be fooled. The harbour in Tropez has its own stable of massive boats, which we have to navigate. One rather beautiful yacht and a space for our dinghy. The town still does resemble a fishing village, except for this. Millie is not impressed. Who has a white Rolls Royce with a black bonnet? Good food, a walk to the top of the hill and an excellent view. We are back on the boat in time for ice cream.
And one citron.
And one cocoa.
Our trip across the bay was more like sailing through the Dubai boat show. We did visit once when we were working there. It's quite something. So our morning's entertainment was deciding the best categories for each yacht. But we all agreed that this is the one that we would go for.
We are heading for Port Grimor, a town on the water. It reminds me of somewhere. It is very, very pretty. The Venice of France. Look, there's a bridge. A rather beautiful bridge, almost Venetian. And everything here happens on the water. A local market with locally grown food. That is so nice.
Black olive, you like?
This one. That's an olive one.
Après, si on va du côté de Bruges, tout ça, c'est néerlandais. À voir quel... D'accord, la bourgeoisie.
La bourgeoisie en Flandre pendant très longtemps a parlé.
Merci. And bread that's baked to order. This town really is a surprise.
Nice bread.
It is burning.
My hand.
Straight out the oven.
I'm not supposed to eat it before we get back.
A little bit. Just a little bit. It would be a shame. It's so hot. No, take from the...
From the super yacht-filled bay in Saint-Tropez, we move on to the equally swanky Cannes. Sadly, for reasons best known to the French, the bay, which has some protection and good sand holding, is closed in July and August. But we did find a spot around the peninsula where we could stop for a quick visit. It's worth climbing up to the old town. But for the night, we go to the islands. There's more protection there and a bit of sand, but there's so many boats, you'll do well to get on it. We do our best to get in a tiny patch of sand. We don't like anchoring on seagrass, not just because we want to protect it, but because it provides terrible holding. Our old Delta anchor, for instance, would have no hope. The Mantis, though, does get a good grip, so at least we're secure. Time to get to shore and find out what's so special about these islands.
Saint-Honorat is owned by a monastery where 24 Cistercian monks run a vineyard. There's an ice cream boat here too, but we don't stop. We're on our way to explore. The island has been welcoming visitors here since the 5th century when the monks first arrived. Now, as well as running the monastery, they earn their living making wine. Sadly for us, today the island is closed. Instead, we return to the boat for some dinner.
So it's very hot, so we're not eating very much. And in France, you'd think, oh, well, yeah, you need to go to the restaurants, but best restaurant is in Fair Isle. Lily's here. What have we got?
Feast. A Mediterranean feast. It's not very French though.
Oh, that looks good. So that's courgette. What was that?
Courgettes with lemon juice, honey, garlic.
Potato salad.
Potato salad.
Lovely.
Lots of salads.
I've been nibbling it. It's all very nice. It's the best way to eat. It's a little bit rocky in the Anchorage tonight, but I think it's just people leaving. It gets very packed in here, but people go in the evening, and I think we might actually move a bit further up when there's some space, because we're a bit on the edge here. It's not too bad. Millie's found a way of extending our table.
Because 10 years and you have no table.
It's a perfectly good little table.
That's ridiculous.
But not for three.
We now have a table.
Yeah, just pull the hatch out further. I might actually put some things, yeah, where you can, if I have something that drops down, you can pull out all the way.
It's Millie's last night with us, and after we drop her off the next morning, we go back to the island. The Abbey is one of the oldest in Europe and has a history. In 732 AD, all the monks were massacred in a Saracen raid and didn't return until 2 centuries later. Then, in the 11th century, they built this fortress.
It's a nice castle. I didn't know the monks had castles.
No, I expect it was something else once upon a time. Look at its position, very strategic.
It is. Nice anchorage, actually. Better anchorage around here than where we are, I think.
Yeah.
Less rolling.
In fact, the fortress was once the only fortified monastery in the world. Living here, the monks thought they'd be safer than in the main monastery, and that turned out to be right. Centuries of theology and teaching, a nursery for prominent bishops, saints and scholars. Legend says even St. Patrick studied here. On the second floor, a dining area, and something that looks like a well but is actually a massive cistern collecting rainwater from the roof.
So this was the abbot's quarters, she was saying, isn't it?
Yes, yes. The
Top
bosses
floor.
lived here.
Bad place to be.
On the next floor, living quarters for the monks and higher still, rooms for the abbot. I think the abbot had the best view. How lovely is that? A spiral staircase leads to the top floor, now completely refurbished. A fitting place to end our explore of mainland France, with just one more stop before heading for Corsica. So it looks like we'll get some heavy wind tonight, so we're moving to another anchorage where it should be a bit less rolly, and then Corsica tomorrow, provided bad wind goes away and we get some good following breeze. Well, some good breeze anyway.
Any breeze.
Well, following would be nice.
In fact, a split screen showing the next 2 days couldn't be more different on the weather models. These are the models we use most because they're normally the most accurate. But ECMWF says we'll have an easterly breeze and predict wind Europe a westerly, which gets a bit stronger. hopefully it's somewhere in between and not nothing.
In fact, we do get some wind and we're on our way.
Don't need it. Love it when that happens.
Yeah, that's great. Well done.
It's not often we're quick enough and so well timed not to have to winch when you're tacking close haul.
Yeah, better than I feared actually. I think we're better on this tack. And if the wind does change, then that's great. You know, we're ready and set. So yeah, not too bad. If we have to tack all the way up, it'll take us a couple of days.
Well, all the predictions say the weather's going to die.
Yeah.
Whether it comes up nicely from behind us, we'll see.
Yeah, but it's nice. It's nice out there. Nice to have a breeze.
Well, it's been a rather uneventful night, which I suppose is a good thing on a passage, but I would have liked a bit more wind. That model that we showed you at the beginning, I mean, it sort of shows you never can rely on it when it's that different. We didn't get anything coming in from the east at all, any of that blast that you had on the Predict Wind model. It was much more like the ECMWF model, but unfortunately, that model, both of the models at the end, had a nice bit of wind taking us in to this last little bit, which would have been lovely. But it is beautiful. Look, I mean, just glassy waters, no sails. We are just, well, I've got the mainsail up, but it's not doing anything. We are just motoring. And we'll be in about, I don't know, 3/4 of an hour. It looks like it's a pretty beach. So, yeah, looking forward to a swim. Wow, well look at this. This is water to rival the Caribbean. This will definitely do. Amazing. Go, job done. Lovely. It's too inviting to wait though. I'm going in.
Such clear water. Yeah, the only problem with jumping in the sea here is that it's not cold enough.
No, 30 degrees it's reached now, so yeah, afternoon swims aren't quite the refreshing thing they were a few weeks ago.
No, but we're back onto island life now, which is frankly something I prefer, though Saint-Tropez was eye-opening because it is a little fishing village in many ways still, except that there are lots of posh people and massive yachts. It's almost like a tale of two halves.
It is. It's still got some charm about it if you look closely. But it's sailing around there is quite a thing as well, because you don't see it. You're sailing around if you're sailing in for the west as we were until you're actually round, and obviously the sun was going down as we were doing it. So I was looking on the IAS and the whole bay, which is huge, it's why all the super yachts go there, was full. It looked like there was just 1,000 AAS dots in there because they all keep the AAS on. But in fact, I mean, there's loads of space between them. It was a good place to anchor.
Yeah, it was. Unlike Cannes, where in July and August is the time that it's fenced off and you cannot anchor outside Cannes. I think you can on other times of the year. year.
Yeah, it says so.
Anyway, I'm quite glad we went out to the islands.
Yeah.
I preferred that. I would never have known.
Yeah, it was better. I mean, they do cram you in there in between because
Yeah.
everyone goes there. And we originally got on there at a weekend as well, so it was doubly bad. But yeah, if you look at the satellite images, there's a tiny little bit of sand that, that you can go on. You
Yes.
could probably get 20 boats in there properly to anchor on sand. The rest of it is all weed, and there were 200 boats in there, so we're all on the weed.
But not many staying overnight. It was
No,
people going
most
there,
are day trippers.
to visit the islands, have a swim,
Yeah, locals. Yeah.
yeah, have a bit of an ice cream and a pizza. Those are amazing little boats around
Yeah,
there.
because that area it's not a full-on cruising area like the Balearics and Greece and places like that are. It's a lot more local boats, which is quite nice in a way. But we're back into sort of more cruising territory now.
We are, and I'm looking forward to seeing as much of Corsica as I can before I go back to the UK.
Yes, Judy's going back for a quick family visit. So I'm going to actually sail the boat around the north of Corsica and across to Elba. I think I'm going to pick you up in Elba.
Yeah, I can't get directly to Elba. There's a lot going on here. Woo!
Yeah, they might be coming out to get some water again. There were some water planes here yesterday, just putting out some stuff for some forest fires. So yeah, there's sort of lots of activity on that.
Yeah.
So we keep an eye on that. We report on that in the next one. But yes, it should be a good episode. The next one, going all the way from here to Elba single-handed, and then you're back and we can explore it.
Yeah, I
Elba's-
can't get directly to Elba. I have to come on the ferry from Italy. So that will be an adventure in itself.
It will.
So thank you very much to our patrons. Thank you to our subscribers, and thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.